What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. It is the third day of December, and here we are with about 9 hours left in this day. $588 is the price, and we are breaking out, you guys. We're breaking out. In case it's not abundantly clear, let me paint a picture for you here. We moved up, we consolidated, we were back testing prior resistance as support, and we are pumping now. We're breaking out of our little box. We're in the midst of a breakout move. And this is phenomenal because, again, what we're doing here is more than just breaking out of this. This is nice, right? If we look at this on a 4-hour time frame, okay, this, to some degree, looks like a bull flag, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I feel like it does. If it is a bull flag, well, it probably performs like one. Let's just see from a low to a high. This is nice because the expectation then would be that we move up to about $648. Now, from here, 588 to 648, that sounds great, but that's nothing compared to what's coming, right? Imagine the price does move all the way up there. We're all the way up here, okay? I'm going to delete, we can see that that line right there is at about 644, so I'm going to put that, I'm going to put a horizontal, maybe we'll just put a bubble there. Let's put a bubble there. 644, something like that, right there. Little bubble. Imagine that the price is up there in that little bubble, somewhere around there, okay? At that point, we're not just in a bull flag. We're not just breaking out of the bull flag on the 4-hour time frame. We're not just breaking out of this, right? No, at that point up here, we're now breaking out of this phase. We're now breaking out of this phase, right? You see what's happening? We're breaking out simultaneously of this bull flag, and we're breaking out of this overall phase as a whole with the move that takes us up here, all predicated off of this little bull flag that we're breaking out of right now. And you might say, that's not a bull flag, it's too big, the flag's too big. There you go. There you go. Now that flag's not too big. Now the pole is bigger than the flag. It all depends on how you want to mesh it, right? But the performance is the same. And even if it's not a bull flag, we can agree to disagree. The reality is you moved up, you moved sideways, you're stair-stepping. Typically, you do move in a very symmetrical way. It'll still perform like a bull flag. Even if you want to say it's not a bull flag, even if it's not, still, we're going to perform like one. The next target would take us well above $600. And at that point, we're breaking out of this range, which means we're breaking out of this range, which means dun, da, 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 we're breaking out of this range, which means we're going to the moon. And all of that is suggested by exactly what we're doing now. Okay, we're going to look at the short-term stuff. We're going to see if we do progress higher. Is this a fake out? Is this something that we can get excited about for reals? Is it going to promote more growth, or are we going to go lower? Right? Is it a fake out? We'll look at that in a second. Okay, let's actually look at that right now. Let's do it right now. Screw it. 1-hour time frame. Looking at this here, there is a good bit of volume. A little bit of volume at the top, and we're not really moving anywhere. There's enough going on here where we could pull back. It's important to be open-minded to that. We definitely could pull back if we do. 560, 570 probably holds us as support. We've already seen some volatility, though. I mean, look at the last hour, for example. If we were to drop, I think we would have done it already. That was a lot of volume, and all we did was get a higher low. We look at the RSI. There is some bearish, no, there is no bearish divergence at all, actually. We've reset, if anything, there's actually hidden bullish divergence. We have a lower low in the RSI with higher lows in the price. Stochastics are bullish. The MACD is bullish too. Everything's bullish. How can you say the MACD is bullish? It just crossed red. Well, that's actually a bullish signal typically if you're in a trend. Right, let's just see. Like here, you cross green, you're trending down though. You're in a bearish trend. You cross green, that's a bearish signal. That's probably a relative high. Then you move down. Probably the same thing here with this one. It doesn't mean that we can't be red for a second. Maybe the coming hours we continue to consolidate, but the MACD is a lagging indicator. So the fact that it's red now, after we've been consolidating for some time, it actually gives us a chance to push higher. If we do bounce from here, that's a very powerful signal. The stochastics will get back in the overbought zone. The RSI gets back in the overbought zone. We're at max capacity bullishness if that happens. So no, we're not in any danger right here. And then look, the red just went away because we're moving up. Still a fresh hour. We have a lot to go. We'll see how it goes, but overall on the 1-hour time frame, I like it. It looks good. I'm not seeing any signs that we're ready to move down. If anything, I'm seeing signs that we're ready to move higher. 4-hour time frame here, and of course we're ready to move higher. Our measure move hasn't even been achieved. Our measure move is like all the way up here, right? Of course we're going to move higher. The RSI just got in the overbought zone. okay? And actually like sizably in the overbought zone, not just in and out, but like actually in it. The last time that we actually got in the overbought zone was here. And if you notice here, once we got overbought, we were in the overbought zone for about 9 candles before we found our high. And to be fair, most of that move happened probably in the first 1, 2, 3 candles, to be fair. And not every example is going to act the exact same way, but still, whenever you got in the overbought zone, that was more of a starting point rather than an ending point. We probably will continue to grow over the next day or so. And I would think we do push higher to our measured move target of 647, maybe higher targets. We'll see. That's just an idea for now. MACD looks great. Stochastics look great. The RSI looks great. I have no problems with this at all. Daily time frame here, bouncing off the 50, right? We saw this coming a mile away. We were talking about it yesterday, actually. Bouncing off the 50, breaking out of this little lower high, lower low structure here, maintaining your overall higher low, higher high structure here. And you look like your next move is either going to take you to the overbought zone to reject, or you're going to pierce into it. So this should be a nice move. Yeah, absolutely, I believe it continues. Stochastics look good, and the MACD looks good too. You're building bullish momentum everywhere we look. Now, let's look at you on a weekly time frame. Because everywhere we're looking, there's breakouts, right? Here, on the 4-hour time frame, it's completely obvious that we're breaking out. You look at it on the daily time frame, it smushes things together a little bit, but it's completely obvious that we're breaking out. And it's also obvious, not only that we're breaking out of this, but that we're breaking away from this here, right? Lower high trend line here, back tested for support, and now we did the break, we did the hook, and now we're going. We're hitting that next level, or pushing toward it at least. We look at the weekly time frame, and I feel like it's abundantly more obvious that we are in fact breaking out of this range right here, right? You can see it. We're clearly right now, clear as day, breaking out of this range here on a weekly time frame, right? We go back in time, clear as day, can't help it, but we're looking at all these highs here. You're being held down, finding resistance here, right? You finally break above it. What happened? We did not push higher immediately. We consolidated for 2 weeks. The breakout happened here. I feel like this candle is obviously the breakout candle. And then we consolidated for 2 weeks. And then the big move happened. Okay? We had the higher weekly closing high that closed higher than any of these prices in this range. 2 weeks went by, and then we pushed higher. You know, here we were breaking out on this week. We consolidated for a little bit, and then we pushed higher. Here we broke out on this week, and then we consolidated for 1 week, and then we pushed higher. Right? Here we didn't really have any signals that we were breaking out. It was just 1 week, and then we pushed higher immediately there. But the point being that even though we're breaking out here, and we're really excited, we're anxious, we're antsy, we're on the edge of our seat, we're on the edge of our dragons, ready to soar through the skies. We're ready, man. We're literally ready. We've been ready for years now for Bitcoin Cash to do its thing. It might take another week or two. Maybe we consolidate here. Maybe we push up a little bit higher, but we still consolidate here. But soon enough, sometime this month of December, we are going to get a very nice push. A very, very nice push. And maybe it's this week. 4 days, 9 hours left in this week. Maybe we do get this nice push. Perhaps we're not going to stop. Maybe we don't break out and then we stop for 2 weeks and then we push higher. Maybe we don't break out, stop for 2 weeks, and then push higher. Maybe we don't do that at all. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that I'm calling for us to consolidate for 2 weeks after this week. I'm just saying we've seen it happen before. If it happens again, don't get discouraged. Take it as an opportunity to accumulate last call before it actually starts to rip. But from here, the real thing that I want to talk about is not that. Let's just, with the premise so that we curb our enthusiasm. It's better to be surprised than to be expecting the pump to happen now, and then you're just waiting for another 2 to 3 weeks. It is coming soon, though. It'll probably be with, I mean, it could be this week, man. It could be next week. I mean, we're right there. But the main thing that I want to talk about is just this breakout here, because the breakout here is literally, it directly correlates with a breakout of this overall range, which again directly correlates with the breakout of your lifelong consolidation that we've had. It's all tied together. One small domino. This is actually a pretty big domino here. I mean, we've been consolidating now since July. This is a pretty big domino to fall right here. Months worth of consolidation. But then that knocks over the next domino, which is a year and a half's worth of consolidation, which knocks out the next domino, which is a whole life, multiple cycles worth of consolidation. It's all happening right now before our eyes. So We want this week to close green. 4 days, 9 hours left. We want it to close green. We want to push higher. We want to keep going. If this does perform the way that I think it will, we should, in a very, very short amount of time, be pushing to prices that are at $936 to $1,300. We should be, in a very short amount of time, by the end of this month of December, at least here, if not higher. And I do think higher will come. I do believe that we're going to see this price go all the way up anywhere from 2,400, 3,400, somewhere in here, 4,400 here, 5,500 here. Any of these targets are all possible. I'm thinking personally that we'll be probably closer to somewhere in this area between about 35 and 4,500. Maybe we do push higher, but these targets might be reserved for sometime in January, whereas these targets here are probably by the end of December. If not, maybe we push as high as something that's closer to $2,000 by the end of this month. We could really see things kick off in a very spectacular way. It just depends on how this week goes and next week goes, because this is the first week of December, next week is the second week. At that point, we only have 2 weeks left in the month or 3 weeks left in the month. So if we don't get moving soon, likely we will be here by the end of the month. But if we see some serious strides by the end of this week and next week, it's completely possible that we could be pushing $2,000 by the end of the month. Regardless, I think this next move is going to take us all the way up to this area, somewhere up here. It's a very big range, but 2,400 to 5,500. I personally think that we'll be here somewhere within that range, 44 to 3,400. But that will likely be in January, if not February. It could take more time, but I don't think anybody's going to mind. All that to say, it's happening now. It's happening right before our eyes. I'm excited as hell. I can't wait to see what happens. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.